And it's exactly because they're simple that they lend themselves very well to practicing ornamentation, and especially when getting into extended ornaments. That means when we use kind of more notes beyond the standard little ornaments. I'll be honest to say, it took me kind of a while to figure out what would actually be most helpful for you, since I believe there's this expression aspect of ornamentation. And this sensitivity can only be developed through hearing and doing, so kind of internalizing the act of ornamentation. So we want to avoid ending up just playing like a bunch of notes, but instead make ornamentation, make the ornaments expressive. So it's not always easy to kind of theorize and quantify what are the rules and you know, what should we do in this and this. It's maybe not possible, but still I try to deduce my approach to ornamentation into a couple of guidelines. So now let's talk about extended ornaments, which is using other notes to make them as a part of the melody. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to reduce this as tangible as possible, and I'll get rid of this kind of theoretical part right here, and then we'll kind of work more intuitively. Okay, so how to ornament kind of extensively. So we want to use neighboring notes, either thirds above or below, or sometimes even sixes, most probably upwards, and that's for really kind of more extrovert gestures, and you know, ba da 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 da, you know. And we use these neighboring notes or notes that are close, and we kind of weave them in and out of the melody. Easiest would be always to start with the main note, or let the main notes stay in their original positions, okay? And then think about what are some notes we can use around them. The original melody and harmony should still be recognizable. And it's also possible to, let's say, if you shift that original melodic note to an offbeat, yeah, you can do that. Make sure that there's just still enough of the original harmony or original harmony notes that so that you can hear the correct harmony. We always want to avoid outlining incorrect harmony or also outlining odd intervals. We'll see some examples later on. They should just, the ornaments should just connect smoothly with the melody, okay? And next one is, as I mentioned earlier, if possible, avoid repeating notes, and especially repeated notes that are upcoming. Yeah. So if you can choose, this is just kind of a trend. It's not, you know, 100%, but you know, yeah, like I said, it's kind of a trend you can notice. If you can choose, it's always better to repeat a pitch that has already happened and not the one that's coming. Again, that's kind of to save the excitement somehow, to not kind of give things away already. And like this will usually make your ornaments just sound more exciting and fresh somehow. And as always, whatever you do, let your ears guide you. Okay, so let's see how we can fill these couple notes with eighth notes. So now here's a solution which would conform to everything that I just said just now, okay? Can everyone see those little notes all right? Yeah, okay, before I go on, there's a okay, Susan loves the theoretical parts. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Wasn't too confusing, right? You're still with me here. Excellent. Okay, great. So here's a solution, and they're all. I just made eighth notes out of them. So you see, what are some possible notes to use here? Okay, of course, this is not the only one, or only ones. Now take your pencil or whatever you have with you to write with, and the copy that you hopefully printed out. Try now to come up with a different solution, okay? And using these notes or some other notes, if you like. These are just suggestions, of course, but sometimes it's helpful to just kind of get going and have a pattern in front of you. So feel free to use these notes or any other notes, and also try to shift at least one main note to an offbeat. Okay, so here you see I have all the main notes now, they're on their regular beats. See if you can come up with something that actually shifts one note off.